Good day, grade 5. Welcome to our science class. I am teacher Joey, your virtual teacher for today. Today class, we will travel to another lesson in science. I know and I am sure that you are all excited for another fun-filled learning activities for today. So let us now begin. But wait class, before we start our discussion, try to find a nice and comfortable place inside your home where you can focus with your lesson. I want you to prepare yourself as well as your materials necessary for your study. Kindly bring out your pen and paper so that you could jot down some important notes needed for your learning. Always remember class that having knowledge is having a power. Good day everyone. Our second topic for second quarter is all about the female reproductive system. Last meeting we discussed about the reproductive system of a male, and we all know that reproduction is an important part in the lives of living things because it ensures the continuity of life. Therefore, plants, animals, and humans have one thing in common. And do you know what is this? And this is they are all what you call reproduce. We also discuss about the functions of what you call male reproductive system. And male reproductive system consists of the following. We have the scrotum, the testes, the epididymis, the vas deferens, the Cowper's glands, the seminal vesicle, the prostate gland, the urethra, the penis, and the glands. So this time, let's have a quick review. All you have to do now is to identify the parts of the male reproductive system. For our number 1, this is a pair of pouch-like sacs that serve as skin covering of the testes. Next, number 2. It is the gland that produces sperm cells and male sex hormones. Next, number 3. It is the external male organ which is covered by foreskin. Next, number 4. It is the passageway of both urine from the urinary bladder and semen from the glands. Number 5, it is a narrow coiled tube that stores immature sperm cells. So let's now move to another topic, which is the female reproductive system. So at the end of this lesson class, you are going to identify the parts of female reproductive system, describe the parts of female reproductive system and their functions. We have an important questions here that need to answer at the end of this lesson. Number 1 question is that, what are the parts of female reproductive system? Number 2, why is the female reproductive system is important? Number 3, which part produce the egg cell? And the last question is, which part can be considered as the important part of the female reproductive system and why? Okay, I prepared an opening activity for you. All you have to do now is by simply looking the words inside the box, what are the parts of the female reproductive system? We have words inside the box are the following. We have the ovaries, the scrotum, the penis, the Cowper's gland, the cervix, the egg cell, the fallopian tube, testosterone, vagina, fimbriae, vas deferens, glands, semen, and uterus. Do you have any idea now? Can anyone answer this? So the first one, part of the female reproductive system is the ovaries. Next, we have also the cervix. Another is we have fallopian tube. Another one is we have vagina. Another one we have also fimbriae. and we have also
uterus.
So this time, let's see these pictures. What can you observe or what can you see in this picture? Very good. It's all girls, in which all girls have this what you call reproductive system. So we will now move or we will now discuss the female reproductive system. So the female reproductive system class is made up of what you call several organs. These are the ovaries, the fallopian tube, the fimbriae, the uterus, the cervix, and the vagina. The female reproductive system is very important. It is specifically responsible for producing egg cells and supporting a developing baby inside the mother's womb. Before proceeding to each parts of the female reproductive system, let us know first what you call egg cell. So this is the egg cell. So egg cell is the female reproductive cell. This is the biggest cell inside the female human body. An egg cell has what you call a cytoplasm and the nucleus. Did you know that an egg cell is only 1/10 of the millimeter? Yes, that is right. It is about the size of the diameter of a hair strand. For you to know, egg cell is not capable for movement, unlike sperm cell that can freely and independently move anywhere. And when these two cells unite, fertilization occurs, meaning one life begins. So this time, let us now proceed to the parts and functions of the female reproductive system. So this is the female reproductive system. This is the structure of the female reproductive system. So the first part of the female reproductive system is the ovaries. This is the ovaries. It produces egg cells as well as the female sex hormones. So what is these sex hormones in female reproductive system? We have the estrogen and progesterone. So estrogen stimulates the female secondary sexual characteristics, and it repairs of the wall of the uterus and controls ovulation, while progesterone, it prevents the wall of the uterus from breaking down. Ovaries, when a female has born, about 7,000 egg cells are already present in her ovaries. However, only 500 of these eggs will mature. The mature eggs are released one by one every month once a female reaches puberty or what you call teenager. Remember that the releasing of eggs will slow down or stop when the female is about 43 to 55 years old. And this is what you call menopause, or yung hindi na sila nag-mens every month. So, let's now move to number 2, which is the fimbriae. So, this is the fimbriae. So, it sweeps the matured eggs to the fallopian tube or oviduct. So, itong fimbriae, ang role niya, siya yung parang humihigop ng mga matured eggs na nilalagay niya sa fallopian tube. Next, number 3, we have the fallopian tubes. That is the fallopian tubes. So, also known as the oviduct. These lead the egg cell from the ovary to the uterus. Aside from that, it also the usual site of fertilization where an egg cell and sperm cell meet and unite. The fallopian tubes are simple columnar epithelium with a hair-like extensions called cilia, which carry the fertilized egg. So dito, mamamalagi or pansamantalang mamalagi yung tinatawag na egg cell at dyan sila magmi-meet ni sperm. So yung characteristics ni fallopian tube ay meron pala siyang mabalahibo, may mga tiny hair na andoon sa loob nito. So next one part is what you call the uterus. So that is the uterus. So uterus is a hollow muscular organ located at the lower abdomen. Uterus has soft, smooth inner lining called uterine lining or endometrium. The uterine lining becomes thicker as it accumulates blood and nutrients to accommodate or be ready for the unborn baby as it develops. The uterus receives a fertilized egg and protects the fetus baby while it grows and develops. The uterus contracts to push the baby out of the body during birth. If the egg cell is not fertilized, it will break together with the uterine lining endometrium. And with that, menstruation occurs in or what you call the monthly bleeding of a woman. Next, it is about 7 cm long and 5 cm across at the widest point. The uterus is held in place within the pelvis by several ligaments. So next one, we have what you call the cervix. That is the cervix. So cervix, during childbirth, the cervix expands to allow the passage of the body. Next, we have the vagina. And that is the vagina. It is also called the birth canal. It is a hollow muscular tube that extends from the cervix to the vaginal opening called vulva. So it expands to let the baby pass during the normal delivery of birth. So this time, let's go now and discuss about the journey of the egg cell and how the female reproductive system works. We learned a while ago that ovaries produce the egg cell, which means egg cell starts at the ovaries. And then the egg cell will be transported to the fallopian tube. This is also where the fertilization occurs, in which sperm cell meets the egg cell. Then, the egg will then move to the uterus where the uterine lining has thickened by blood and nutrients in response to the normal hormone of the reproductive cycle. So now class, if the egg cell is not developed, the egg cell and uterine lining discharge during menstruation. But when the egg cell or the egg fertilized by the sperm cell will implant in the uterine lining and it will produce or develop into a baby. So with this class, we can now answer the important questions. For number 1, what are the parts of the female reproductive system? So definitely, the female reproductive system is made up of several parts that includes the vagina, cervix, uterus, fallopian tube, fimbriae, and ovaries. Next, number 2, why is the female reproductive system important? This organ system ensures the reproduction of humans. Next, number 3, which produces the egg cells? The ovaries of the female produces the egg cells. Next, number 4 question, Which part can be considered as the most important part of the female reproductive system and why? So the most important part of the female reproductive system is the ovary. This is because this organ produces the egg cells and regulates the hormones of the female. So this time, study the illustration of the female reproductive system below, then identify the parts being described. So I know you can now answer the following questions.